You know that feeling when you're the main character in your own life, but you're pretty sure you're just a confused passenger in a biological mech suit with its own strange agenda. One minute you're in control, the next your leg decides to do the world's most aggressive twitch for no reason. Who even greenlit that? Today we're diving into all the weird, involuntary, and frankly creepy stuff your body does on autopilot. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is the phantom fall. You know the one. You're just drifting off to sleep, cozy in your bed, thinking about that one embarrassing thing you said in 2011. Your breathing slows, the world fades, and then bam. For a split second, you feel like you've just stepped off a skyscraper, and your entire body convulses in a desperate, flailing attempt to not become a sidewalk pancake. This little piece of neurological psychodrama is called a hypnic jerk. And it's basically your brain getting its wires crossed during a shift change. See, as you fall asleep, your brain has to perform a delicate handover. The conscious, I should really do the laundry, part of your brain is clocking out, while the unconscious, let's just keep the heart beating part is clocking in. During this transition, your muscles start to relax and go limp. But sometimes, your brain's reticular activating system, the bouncer that decides what sensory information gets in, gets a little jumpy. It misinterprets the sudden muscle relaxation as a sign that you are, in fact, falling from a great height. So, in a sheer panic, it blasts an emergency signal to your motor cortex, shouting, "Wake up! Catch yourself, you fool!" Your muscles obey instantly, giving you that massive, full-body twitch that jolts you back to reality, heart pounding, wondering if your bed just tried to eat you. It's the physiological equivalent of yelling, "I'm okay," after tripping spectacularly in front of a crowd. It's your brain, bless its heart, trying to save you from a danger that exists only in its own confused, sleepy imagination. Number 2 is the brain's secret nap time. Ever been staring at a spreadsheet for so long that the numbers start to look like angry little hieroglyphs? You haven't fallen asleep, you're sitting upright, your eyes are open, but you suddenly snap back to reality with a little head bob, realizing you have absolutely no memory of the last 10 seconds. Congratulations, you've just experienced a microsleep. A microsleep is exactly what it sounds like. A tiny, involuntary episode of sleep that lasts anywhere from a fraction of a second to about 30 seconds. It's not a conscious decision. It's your brain's emergency shutdown protocol when it's been pushed past its limit by sleep deprivation. Think of your brain as an office full of overworked employees. When you're exhausted, the neurons in charge of staying awake and paying attention just quit. They turn off the lights, put their feet up on the desk, and take an unscheduled break, even if the rest of your body is still trying to operate heavy machinery or, more likely, pretend to be interested in a Zoom meeting. The creepiest part? You're often not even aware it happened. To an observer, you might just look like you've zoned out. But inside your skull, critical parts of your brain, like the thalamus which regulates consciousness, have gone completely offline. You could be driving, talking, or walking, and for a few moments, nobody's home. It's your body's ultimate act of passive aggression, a silent protest from your neurons saying, "We told you we needed 8 hours. This is your problem now." Number 3, we have your inner scared cat. Picture this. You're listening to a particularly epic piece of music, or you feel a sudden, unexpected chill. And just like that, the skin on your arms and neck erupts into a sea of tiny bumps. You've got goosebumps. On the surface, it's a pretty tame biological reaction, but when you dig into why it happens, it gets weirdly primal. Every single hair on your body is attached to a minuscule muscle called an erector pili. When these muscles contract, they pull the hair follicle upright, causing the surrounding skin to bunch up. This is the piloerection reflex. In our furry, distant ancestors, this had 2 very important jobs. First, it trapped a layer of air against the skin, creating insulation to keep them warm. Second, when they were scared, puffing up all their fur made them look bigger and more intimidating to predators. It's the biological equivalent of a cat arching its back and hissing. Now look down at your arm. Notice the distinct lack of a thick, intimidating pelt. For modern humans, this reflex is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. When your body tries to puff up your fur to scare off a threat, say, the villain in a horror movie, all it accomplishes is creating a dotted texture on your skin. You don't look bigger. You don't look scarier. You just look bumpy. It's an ancient, instinctual defense mechanism that our bodies forgot to uninstall. Your nervous system is running on software from a million years ago, trying to make you look like a ferocious bear when, in reality, you just look like a slightly cold, plucked chicken. Number 4 is the yawn heard round the world. Nothing makes you feel less in control of your own face than a contagious yawn. One person in a lecture hall lets out a big, satisfying jaw stretcher, and suddenly it's a chain reaction. Like a biological wave at a baseball game, the yawn spreads from person to person, and you're completely powerless to stop it. You can fight it, you can clench your jaw, you can try to think of anything else, but your body's autopilot has already been triggered. You will yawn. Scientists aren't 100% sure why this happens, but the leading theory is that it's deeply connected to empathy and social bonding. It's a primitive form of unconscious communication, a way for a group to sync up their state of mind. Studies show that you're much more likely to catch a yawn from someone you're close to, like a family member or friend, than from a stranger. Even more bizarre, it's not just a human thing. Chimpanzees, wolves, and even parakeets do it. It's basically your brain seeing someone else signal, "I'm tired, bored, need more oxygen," and immediately saying, "OMG, same," without your permission. Another theory suggests it's a thermoregulatory behavior, meaning it helps cool down the brain. The massive stretch of the jaw increases blood flow to the head, while the deep inhale of cooler air can lower the brain's temperature. So when you see someone else yawn, your brain might be thinking, "Hey, that looks like a good way to cool down this overclocked processor of mine." Either way, it's a perfect example of your body being part of a hive mind you never signed up for. Okay, this next one is a bit more intense. We're talking about your personal horror movie, otherwise known as sleep paralysis. For those who haven't had the pleasure, it's the experience of waking up, being fully conscious and aware of your surroundings, but being completely unable to move a muscle. It's like your brain reboots, but forgets to send the startup command to the rest of your body. This terrifying state of affairs is another glitch in the sleep-wake transition. When you're in REM sleep, the stage where you have your most vivid dreams, your brain secretes a neurotransmitter that paralyzes your voluntary muscles. This is actually a feature, not a bug. It's called REM atonia, and it's what stops you from physically acting out your dreams and karate chopping your bedside lamp every night. Sleep paralysis is what happens when this feature overstays its welcome. Your conscious mind wakes up, but the paralysis switch is still flipped on. To make matters infinitely worse, your brain is still partially in a dream state. This is why many people who experience sleep paralysis also report terrifying hallucinations, like seeing a dark figure in the corner of the room or feeling a heavy pressure on their chest. It's not a ghost. It's your dreaming mind's visuals and narratives spilling over into your real-world environment. Your brain, the ultimate method actor, is projecting a horror movie onto your bedroom wall, and it has cast you as the helpless, frozen victim. It's a perfect, terrifying storm of your own biology conspiring against you. Number 6 is the ghost in your pocket. You're walking down the street, minding your own business when you feel it, that specific faint buzz against your thigh. A text, an email. A notification that your phone's battery is, as usual, about to die. You reach into your pocket with the casual speed of a seasoned pro, pull out your phone, and unlock the screen only to find absolutely nothing. Your screen is dark, your notification bar is empty. Your pocket just straight up lied to you. Welcome to the incredibly modern phenomenon of phantom vibration syndrome. And no, you're not going crazy. You're just well-trained. Your brain has developed such a strong association between that specific buzzing sensation and the rewarding little dopamine hit of a new message that it has become hypervigilant. It's constantly scanning for that signal, waiting for its next fix. This anticipation is so powerful that your brain will start misinterpreting other, completely random signals as a phone vibration. It could be the rustle of your clothes, a slight muscle spasm, or literally just static from the great cosmic void. Your brain doesn't care. It takes that ambiguous sensory data, runs it through its, "Is this a text?" filter and confidently announces, "Yep, that's a text." It's the digital equivalent of Pavlov's dogs. You have been conditioned to respond to a stimulus so effectively that your brain now generates the stimulus itself just in case it missed one. It's the ultimate testament to how deeply these little glowing rectangles have integrated themselves into our nervous systems. Your brain is so desperate for a notification, it's willing to create phantom ones just to feel something. Our final entry, number 7, is when life becomes a video game. If you've ever dedicated an entire weekend to a game like Tetris or Candy Crush, you might have experienced this bizarre side effect. You finally turn off the console, stand up to rejoin the real world, and as you look at the tiles on your kitchen floor, you start mentally trying to fit them together to clear a line. You see the cars in traffic and think about how they could be shifted to make a perfect match 3. This is the Tetris effect, or more broadly, game transfer phenomena. It's what happens when your brain gets stuck in a loop. When you perform a novel, repetitive task for hours on end, you're essentially carving a new neural pathway, a mental shortcut for that specific activity. The problem is, sometimes your brain forgets to turn the shortcut off. It gets so good at thinking in terms of falling blocks or matching jewels that it starts applying that logic to everything it sees. Your brain's pattern recognition software has been hijacked, and now the entire world is a puzzle to be solved. And it's not just video games. Accountants report dreaming in spreadsheets. Factory workers find themselves mentally performing their assembly line tasks while trying to fall asleep. It's a form of mental burn-in, where a repetitive thought process starts to color your perception of reality. It's a creepy and profound reminder that the world you perceive isn't objective truth. It's an interpretation painted by your brain's habits. And if your main habit has been stacking blocks for 8 straight hours, then everything is going to start looking like a long, straight piece you desperately need to clear 4 rows. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.